I mean, we're in Jezero Crater, right? The reason why Jezero Crater was selected as a landing site is because we can see from orbit that there is this beautiful, like, river delta. So this kind of fan of mud and silica deposits that have been left behind when some ancient river entered the crater, and there was a lake there. And when the water slowed down, it dropped all of the material it had carried from upriver, and they're just left behind this fan of sand and mud that's since dried out. Now, as far as we can tell, that lake and that river dried up, billions of years ago. So, those rocks had been deposited there a very, very, very long time ago. And one of the challenges on Mars is that, if we're looking for these organic compounds that could have been the building blocks of life when Mars was potentially habitable billions of years ago, we have to look for what's left billions of years later. And that's, as I said before, it's not a pleasant environment. So the real challenge is, how do you find where those molecules could be preserved? We know from studies on Earth that, like, certain kinds of rocks, so like mudstones, are very, very good at trapping organic material. We would expect to find a lot of organic material in, for example, the deposits of that river delta in Jezero. But what will have survived over billions of years? How far below the surface do you have to get before you're safe from all that radiation that could be photolyzing and destroying those molecules? It's one of the challenges. It's part of the concern why we haven't seen very much organic material using other missions, is that until Perseverance and InSight, well, I suppose InSight landed first, but we've only really just scratched the surface of Mars, literally. Most of the previous missions would only remove, like, the top, couple of, the top centimeter or two of material. Perseverance is capable of digging at least 5 centimeters below the surface. So we're more hopeful that we'll be able to find some of that preserved material. We've picked what we think is a really good location that has lots of potential, and we've got the tools to look further below the surface than we ever have before. And we have these very sensitive techniques, such, Sherlock is a, in theory, a non-destructive method of scanning a sample and, in situ. And then you can, so hopefully we'll be able to detect that material and then make the decision whether or not we want to store it in a sample tube and bring it back to Earth later for more detailed analysis.